Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to fourth quarter. What's up? Well, we are with the fans, by the fans, for the fans. Welcome. We talk about everything in sports you love. Basketball, NBA playoffs are on right now, by the way. We loving it. We're going to give our NFL draft grades and any surprises from the NFL draft. What's going on? You can check us out anywhere you get podcast at. Apple, Spotify, Google. Boom. What's going on? Craig, what's up? What's up?
Chilling, man. Damn. Hit my leg. Chilling.
Yeah. Give an applause, man. What's going on? We in the building. What's up?
Chilling, man. I'm just ready to get this week of playoffs games keep going and keep rolling. I would assume the WNBA is about to start soon, so I'm kind of interested in that now because of the whole draft that happened this year. And I mean, for those who like UFL, I'm cool with it. I'm kind of getting that a little bit more, and then what's the name comes out in a
I'm
couple.
catch a game. I'm gonna catch a game this Saturday.
The Big Three comes out in a couple weeks.
Big Three comes out.
So the summer's looking pretty good, pretty decent.
In the draft this summer too.
The NBA draft, yeah. They are. I mean, it's normally in the summertime. I'm just like, man, nothing on, but you know,
nothing. After the NBA finals, that's why we take a break.
Yeah, but I might be tuning into some WNBA and some. I always watch the Big Three, but
I'm about to say,
I might be a little bit more into the WNBA coming up soon. We'll see.
Yeah, all the trader camps started. I seen footage from Indiana Fever. They're gonna be tough, like, cause they got Aaliyah Boston and Kaden Clark. Aaliyah Boston's a beast too.
I'm
then you have Angel Reese. Chicago Sky with two bigs. So, and then you got the best player in the league right now, Aja Wilson. She vicious. I saw her training. Yeah, Asia vicious, man. I've been so a lot. Okay, so a lot like on Gilbert Arenas, he has Lexi Brown, who's a WNBA player. So when she's on the podcast, it's good to get her perspective about how the WNBA is. Cheryl Miller's been on there. So it's just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool to get into the let them talk about the WNBA. And I know Diana Taurasi, she talks trash, but I just want to see how Clayton Clark does. I know everybody's like, she's gonna come in and dominate, and it's like you gotta listen. She might, or she might be like Steph Curry, or she might be like Kobe. And we don't, sometimes the media be doing too much. Sometimes, man, like let her just play basketball, and then if she's meant to be great, which I think everybody thinks she will be, then let it be. But they're like, she's gonna dominate. I don't know how I don't know. She might not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just let her play a game. You know what I'm saying? Golly. Let her play a game, man. Let her let us watch her grow into her greatness and appreciate it instead of announcing somebody that's already there. The media tends to do that all the time. So anyway, look, NFL draft. If you guys were here last week, you caught it with us. It was live. It was nice. Craig's team traded back up in the first round. He's going to talk about his in-depth draft grades. But Craig, what top 5 teams did the best in the NFL draft? Which top 5 NFL teams?
For round one.
For round one. Only round one. No.
Right off the bat, I think the Bears did. The Bears had they needed to fill a need for quarterback, and they got their quarterback. Hopefully, this will be their quarterback of the future. The last quarterback they had, Fields, didn't work out, but they got Williams. So I'm hoping it's going to work out for them. The Bears, throughout their history, which is kind of, I mean, it's been a long time. You wouldn't think that the Bears just never really had a really dominant quarterback, and they never had a dominant quarterback. So this is an opportunity for them to have. I mean, he has the talent to be like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So he just has to go out and prove. And then they actually built the team around him, so that was good. But I definitely like the pick of Williams. I think he can do some big things coming up this year. And I like the pick of Odunze. Like, they needed another wide receiver, in my opinion. He was the best player on the board to me at pick 9.
Yeah, it was pick 9.
They didn't have to trade up to get him, or they didn't have to do anything else. I mean, they didn't have a lot of picks in the whole draft, and they had like 5. But they made pretty much the best out of what they had, especially in that first round. So I'm definitely thinking the Bears, the Commanders.
Hey, Craig, somebody said hi.
Don't tell me it's Demeter.
No, look on the Rose.
Oh God, Rose. I'm not even paying attention to Rose. So I think the Commanders. Nah, man. I think the Commanders did a great job. I think they needed the quarterback. They just like the Bears might have got their quarterback of the future. As long as they can protect them with the O-line, and the O-line gave up a lot of sacks last year. And one of the knocks on Daniels is that he takes a lot of sacks. So he's also going to have to learn to slide, because the last time they had a mobile quarterback, I guess, that they drafted high in 2012 was RG3, and he unfortunately got hurt before his career really took off, even though he had a great rookie season. But he could have been a lot better had he not got hurt, I think.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate. So hopefully the same thing does not happen to Daniels. I think the Commanders are definitely up there. The Eagles got arguably the best corner in the NFL draft in the first round.
That's a good one.
Last year they got Carter. This year, excuse me, this year they ended up getting arguably the best corner. And I can't remember his name on top of my head.
Quentin Mitchell.
Quentin Mitchell. Yeah. So they got
Mitchell. Yes.
That's going to be
Toledo.
Yeah. That. I mean, they already had They had horrible secondary play last year, and they ended up trying to first 2 picks. They get 2 corners, two best corners in the NFL. But specifically for the first one, I mean, you got Mitchell's arguably the best corner, and I thought he's going to go a lot higher. Maybe not a lot, but I thought he had
a high draft. He had a high draft grade.
I thought he was going to go maybe 15 to the Colts. He ended up falling to the Eagles right in the lap. So I thought
14 straight offensive players, bro. 14 straight.
I thought they had a great draft, a great first round draft. Same thing with the Cardinals. I thought the Cardinals, they needed to get a wide receiver. I wouldn't have been mad if they traded back just to get some more picks. But looking back at it, I'm kind of glad that they stayed, because they needed to get a wide receiver for Murray. So, and I mean, last year we saw what happened with Hollywood Brown and whoever else they had there, where they really didn't have anything. So, just to get a wide receiver there, a big time weapon there, and arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. I thought that. I mean, in the NFL draft, I thought that was a phenomenal pick, just for them to just have somebody there that can be relevant in that passing game. I kind of thought maybe he might not want to go there, or maybe the same thing I heard. Williams might not want to go to Chicago or whatever it is. All the rumblings came up. So I'm just happy everything worked out in there, and he's going to be on the Cardinals. And I think who else had a great draft to me? I think the Ravens. I thought the Ravens had a really good draft, getting a cornerback late in the draft. I thought they needed secondary help as well, or secondary depth, and they got arguably he could actually be the best when it's all said and done out of this draft in terms of cornerbacks, and Wiggins out of Clemson. So I thought they had a phenomenal draft as well in the first round. And I know we said 5, but I got to go Patriots as well, just because they needed a quarterback. They got a quarterback that they can possibly sit for X amount of games. Might even have him sit the whole season if Brissett is playing decently. But and then just let him sit and watch and just see what he needs to do and improve for his upcoming future for next year, where he probably most likely will be the full-time starter there. But I just think that Drake May, I think he still needs a little work, obviously.
Yeah.
And still needs a little bit of polish on him. And I just think that him sitting behind a veteran in Brissett, especially when you don't have really any receivers. The running back situation is what it is. They have Stevenson, and they just lost Elliott. But I mean, he's going to get, if you put Drake May out there, I think he's just going to get beat up. He doesn't have really anybody to throw the ball to. Just draft the.
I hope he doesn't. I
mean, if he does, I hope he plays kind of late in the season just to throw him out there, maybe. But when the team is like 3-10 or something like that, and they have nothing to play for, just to see what he got, just see what he can do, see how he handles a real game scenario, a real game situation.
If you're 3-10, you might as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to play for at that point. I mean, obviously, you don't want him to get beat up, and you don't want him to get hurt late in the season to the point where his injury is going to be like a year-long injury. Now he's hurt in December. He doesn't come back again until next December or something like that. So you kind of got to play around with it to see exactly what he's comfortable with and things like that. But, I mean, I did like the pick. This is because I'm biased, but I thought that the Patriots needed a quarterback. They didn't trade back. I heard they were getting trade offers from the Giants.
A lot of trade offers.
And they didn't take the bait on it. They just stayed where they were, and they ended up getting their guy. So I'm cool with that.
All right. My top five teams are easy. All right. The Bears. Offensive driven league. They draft a lot of offense. So did the Patriots, by the way. Patriots. I don't believe Patriots drafted defensive player. Roma Dunes at 9 and Caleb. You set up Caleb with Roma Dunze. You were smart. Caleb Williams is no one pick. You draft him. He could be your franchise changing quarterback. And it's life. It happens. I know it sucks for Justin Fields, but Ryan Poles wasn't there. Like, Ryan Poles didn't draft to set up Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks that he was placed in that position, and then Ryan Poles is like, oh, no. We got to get offense. We got, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's offensive-minded head coach. Not offensive-minded head coach, but just the offensive-minded GM. And Justin Fields didn't get that. But in the NFL, in sports, the great thing is you can always make a comeback. You just got to put in the work. So Justin Fields in a good situation. He could, who knows? He could start over Russell Wilson. I don't believe it though, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Second team, the Commanders. I'll go into a deep dive of their draft grades and their draft picks later, just like Craig's gonna do Carolina Panthers. But I like the Commanders because the number 2 pick they got Jaden Daniels, who I think is a great prospect. I think he's one of the best prospects. Okay, I got you. Shout out to Earl. Got you, man. Put the wash. I got you. About to be busy. I got you. I'm putting the Washington grade in the chat. I got you. But I think they got Jaden Daniels. Set him up with weapons. I think they're good to go. Shout out to Earl, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for that, man. We will keep it up, man.
Appreciate it.
So the Commander's easy, right? The third team, I hate to say it, man. I like the Eagles pick, man. They got the best corner in the draft, and they got Cooper DeJean, who I was talking to Earl about it. I wanted Cooper Jazeen as a Commanders. I think you put him at safety. I think he would be a impact player. But we got a D tackle with a first round grade, so it is what it is. Um, I just think the Eagles addressed the secondary and were super aggressive. Sometimes you have to be aggressive for a need. If you know that you need it, be aggressive and go get it, and that's what Philly did. The third team, I like Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I think Pittsburgh Steelers had a good draft. I think they addressed a need, and they got Troy Fontenot, who's gotten a lot of great reviews, the tackle for Washington. And I really like the pick. And it's a couple picks on here that I like, but my fifth one, I gotta probably say Marvin Harrison. That because it's just I know people had Neighbors ahead of him. I didn't, but some people said Neighbors is phenomenal. I think Neighbors is, but I think Marvin Harrison for the past 2 years has just been a top prospect. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. He could be better than his father. That's what his father said. His father's a Hall of Fame player. For the Cardinals to have Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., come on now, what are we talking about? That's it. That's it. They can in a day and age where you have to. It's so funny. You have to have a dynamic quarterback who could be a game manager, and then have a a, a running game and a defense. Same thing we were growing up. It just looks differently, and it's not as flashy as it was. But most teams that go high into the playoffs and win championships run the ball and play good defense. That is just never going to go anywhere. That's why if I was building a team, I build inside out. Get the lines good first, build everything based on that. And I wouldn't trade for people. I wouldn't sign a lot of free agents. I like the Green Bay method. You know what I'm saying? That's just simple, stupid method, man. That's just draft very well. I like Green Bay, and the way it's looking to get three quarterbacks back to back to back is crazy. Three franchise quarterbacks, so they're doing something right in their evaluation process. All right, Craig, deep dive in Carolina Panthers draft grade and why?
Well, the Panthers are they screwed themselves the last couple of years. Like, what makes me kind of mad? I'm not saying they would have had this happen, but that they traded up to get Bryce Young last year. They traded a bunch of pieces, a bunch of first round picks, and they traded obviously they traded DJ Moore, but they still ended up with the worst record after having 7 wins the previous year. So they wasted it, because if they had just maybe kept everything and kept the 9th pick and picked whoever, Carter or whoever, they could have probably still had the same record. And they could have been taking Caleb Williams at number 1 this year without having to lose DJ Moore. Maybe not, because maybe DJ Moore would have been a better player with the red rifle under center, Andy Dalton. Because Andy Dalton, when he played that one game he started, he played pretty well. They ended up losing, but he still played pretty well. But I don't know, man. That makes me think about what could have been, I guess, last year or whatever, and then going into this year's draft. But as far as this draft goes, they traded up one spot to get Leggett. I'm not mad at getting Leggett. I mean, I don't know if they thought the Bills were going to take him. Maybe they clearly were high on him, because I thought Mitchell might have been the guy from Texas. They ended up going with Leggett, possibly with Leggett. So I wouldn't have been mad if the Bills had drafted Leggett and then they ended up still getting Micheal. But they traded up one spot to get in the first round. I mean, I do like Leggett. I thought he had a really good year last year for South Carolina. He has strength, he has speed. It's I think he was a really good deep threat. I think he won majority of his downfield deep threat passes.
Smith loves him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be eventually, possibly some point in this year. I think he could be the number one guy. He's going to have to be at least the number two guy. Yeah, and they got to figure out what they're doing also with the pieces that they drafted the last couple of years, especially with last year with Mingo. So they got to figure that out to figure out where he belongs in this lineup. And then obviously they went out and traded for Deontay Johnson and still have Thielen on the roster. But Leggett could be that guy that could get the ball downfield and stretch the field a little bit. So I'm not mad at it, but I kind of wish they had just stayed in the second round if they were going to still take him because they were only one pick off. But it is what it is. Yeah. The next pick I'm kind of iffy on, which I think a lot of people are too, just because he's coming off. Somebody's going to draft him.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
It's just the fact that the Panthers ended up trading back. Crazy thing is that I thought I was driving when they were picking on Friday, and I thought, okay, cool, they're about to get the kid from Iowa, the cornerback, the Gene.
Cooper DeJean, yes.
I'm like, all right, cool, but they about to get him. The next thing I know, they traded the pick because normally I get a text message just when the pick is in or whatever it is, and it was like 5 minutes later I didn't see what happened. Then I checked my phone and they traded the pick. So I'm just irritated at that because I thought they could have got him, and then he ended up going to Philly, which I mean Philly just drafted arguably the best corner.
Smart, man.
And then they traded to get Brooks. I don't know, man. Like you already have Chuba Hubbard, you already have Miles Sanders, who they didn't use at all last year. He was after coming off a career season in Philly, he was underutilized last year. Now he's possibly going to be the second, and if Brooks is 100% healthy, which is another thing, then he could be.
He's coming off an injury, right?
ACL injury. So you don't know. It's kind of an iffy pick. I mean, obviously, if he's 100% healthy or close to 100% healthy, then the pick might work out. But if he's not, it's a waste of a pick. Especially trading. They traded back and they traded back up, and it's just like I don't know, man. So.
That's pretty high for a running back. You saying they should have kept Cooper DeJean?
They had a chance to get Cooper DeJean. That's the crazy thing. That's what I wanted them to get because they had a need at corner.
Yeah,
but they ended up taking a running back, which I didn't think they really needed. Yeah, just because they had Hubbard and they had Sanders, that they just utilized Hubbard and Sanders together, it would be fine. But they didn't utilize Sanders.
High for a running back. That's high for a running back.
And Brooks doesn't catch out of the backfield. He doesn't catch too many passes. So they're going to have to figure something out, especially with how fast and how much he was getting sacked last year. If Brooks can be the guy that can be like an easy safety valve or you dump a couple passes off to him, you got to do something to make him worth. I mean, second round pick is it's not that high. For this draft class, it might have been just because his injury, but we've seen running backs go in the first round before.
Last year.
But they got to figure something out here in terms of how they're going to utilize them and what they're going to do with him, because hopefully he'll be 100% healthy or close to 100%, and he can actually get on the field and be productive. Then they took a linebacker. Linebackers seem like they're getting phased out for the most part. Like people when they talk about defense, to me, it's edge, it's corner, and it's defensive line, safety. Like you very rarely, to me, hear about a good linebacker getting drafted. That's like, I know Campbell was productive last year for the Lions.
Roquan might be the last one, but he might be different though. He might be different.
Like a lot of these guys are
Roquan athleticism is crazy. Like him and Devin White athleticism is crazy.
Wallace is he's athletic, but he's raw. Like he just doesn't. He didn't have a productive season last year in Kentucky. So I mean, to draft him at this high, and to me, linebacker wasn't that big of a need. I thought they needed the edge more than they need. Now maybe he could transition into that, but I thought they needed the edge to replace Burns.
Yeah,
didn't get an edge at all, and maybe, like I said, maybe Wiles can turn into that. But I'm not. I don't know, man. I just really wasn't feeling. I know they had some injuries last year, and Frankie Luvu's gone.
Yeah,
but I mean, they did sign a couple pieces. They signed Clowney, so they already had Thompson. So, and I don't know. I just didn't really. I did like the next pick though with Sanders, the tight end. Possibly can be a pass catching tight end. I mean, he didn't have a huge production in terms of touchdowns at Texas. So I'm hoping that they can try to utilize him and try to put him in the end zone. I mean, he didn't drop a pass last year, and then he ball that was catchable. So that was good, but he didn't have a lot of touchdowns last year for that Texas offense. I thought the cornerback that they drafted in the next pick, Smith Wade, for a 5th round pick, I thought that was pretty good. Just give him some extra depth. He only allowed 1 touchdown last year when he was in coverage and forced 9 incompletions. It's nothing that jumps off the wall at you or whatever it is like that. But just in terms of just the thing that stands out to me is just the 1 touchdown when he was in coverage. So I think that's pretty good. If he can replicate that this year, I'm cool with it. I don't know how much of the field he's going to see. Maybe he'll be in nickel, but because he's got a couple of corners, maybe he can surprise people and just jump up the depth chart. But then they had D-line, who he doesn't provide a lot of I guess what's the word, pressure. So he doesn't provide a lot of pressure when it comes to getting to the quarterback. So they're gonna have to figure something out with this guy, because I mean the Panthers weren't that great in getting to the quarterback last year, and that was with Burns. So imagine now without him, what they're going to be able to do or not be able to do. And then this guy that they drafted in the 6th round, he's not a guy that gets to the quarterback or puts pressure on the quarterback. He had 64 quarterback pressures in 1,149 pass rush snaps at Mississippi State. So that's not good. And then the last pick, the linebacker out of Michigan, I think it's pretty good. I thought he was really high. He was higher on PFF's board. So I'm hoping that he once again, though he's a linebacker. So, but once again, he was more consistent in the in run defense and run coverage. So he can be a 3-down linebacker. So I'm hoping that he can come in and, even though he's a 7th round pick, try to transition right away and maybe move up the depth chart, because PFF had him at 198 and he was taken at 240. So 60 or 42 spots higher than where he was drafted at. So I'm hoping he can live up to PFF's big board at least, and maybe be a top 200 type of player. For at least for the Panthers anyway. I probably would give the overall grade maybe a C+.
Ooh, okay.
Nothing
C+.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't think it's great, but I don't think it was like the worst. But I mean, it's the Jonathan. Maybe if the Jonathan Brooks pick works out and he's healthy and he's ready to go, then I probably would. If I knew he was healthy, I'd probably give him like a B minus. Yeah. But being that I don't know, and it could backfire on them, and that could have been just a waste of a pick, especially when you had a chance to get Cooper DeJean. I mean, like he had an opportunity right there to pick somebody that's going to help the defense, especially when you lost a lot of people on defense and you traded away a starting cornerback. I mean, or you had a chance to get an edge rusher possibly. I don't know, but and then to take the linebacker after that in the 3rd round, that just, I mean, those 2 picks back to back really was like, I don't know. So I give him a C- at this point, probably. I said C plus. I'll probably give him a C. If I'm
Okay.
being, I'll probably give him like a 75. I guess somewhere in the middle. I thought they could have done better, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens next year.
Yeah. So the Commanders grade, guys. I was pretty excited for this draft, and they shocked me, but I understand the trade for Cooper DeJean to what we got. So, second pick, Jaden Daniels. I heard it come out today, Craig, that the Commanders knew they weren't getting Caleb. They weren't interested in Drake May. They were interested in Jaden Daniels and JJ McCarthy, which I kind of knew already. But I think they picked Jaden Daniels, and I like Jaden Daniels. Now, the second round, I was kind of like, why did they trade Philly? Right? Because I thought we were going to get Cooper DeJean. But they got two more like second round picks. And it's like, golly, man. So we have 3 second round picks. You got to do it. And I like Jazon Newton. I love Jazon Newton because he actually was the second best D tackle and had a first. No, JJ McCarthy is not as good as Jaden Daniels. I think JJ going to Minnesota is perfect for him because that's where he needs to go. He needs to go to an offensive minded quarterback coach that can develop him. I do not think JJ McCarthy is better than Jaden Daniels. That's who the Commanders were interested in. I don't think that. So Newton, the tackle, I understand he had a first round grade on him. He helps the rotation of our defense. He can develop. I think he could start immediately. Dan Quinn, I was just reading about Dan Quinn defenses. Dan Quinn, yes, he likes aggressive pass rushers. He likes aggressive he runs in a very aggressive pass rushing blitzing defense. And I think that's why he picked Newton up to just have another big body on the inside. And then because of that pick, we're able to get Mike Schrenstill, the corner from Michigan, and Ben Sinnott, the tight end from Kansas State. Kansas State tight end is pretty much of a good blocking tight end. Good. We needed a tight end anyway. He's young. That corner pick, he was a great corner at Michigan. He fits a need. And all of, I think 4 out of our draft picks were team captains. And this is the culture that we're trying to set as a Commanders fan. We need leaders. The culture needs to change. And they did it with this draft. The guard at 67, the only thing I would have done was maybe get the guard a higher grade, but I see you can't let Newton drop past you. You can't. It's too good. So I get why. I wish they would have got another offensive guard, but it was a run on guard. So, but I like Coleman right there. He'll probably start right away, and then Luke McCaffrey, hard work ethic, good bloodline. I think he'll fit right in the slot. And you know, I think he can start. We need weapons. I think he's a great weapon. I think Jaden Daniels has good weapons, and I think McCaffrey's a good pick. And then you got the linebacker, right? Jordan McGee. I think the linebacker, DB, and defensive end, Jordan McGee, Dominic Hampton, and Javon Baptiste, I think they're all depth picks. I know we need more depth. Good to get a linebacker in the 5th round. Great to get a defensive back. Probably special teamers. They could make the team. So overall, I think I did want them to address the offensive line more, but I understand it's still a training camp to happen, and I think we're going to be in good shape. So definitely, man. Oh man, where's Mo at? All right. Anyway, let's go into it. Craig, let's go, man. Give us your top 5 this week, man. What's up? Let's do it.
This week I got my top 5. I was gonna do my top 5 draft grades, but
Ooh,
I
okay.
thought everybody was doing that, and I thought we were gonna do that, but I think we switched some things up. So I might do that next week. I don't know. I might figure something else out. But I did my top 5 head scratching picks in the first round. So I know we talked about who had the best in terms of who had the best draft in the first round or whatever it is. But I got some picks that were, some weird ones, I guess. So my number 5, I got the Chiefs taking Xavier Worthy, not because I thought Xavier Worthy's not that good. I think he's going to be really good. He's just another speedster. He's another fast. I ain't gonna say Hill, but I mean, it's kind of Hill-esque, I guess, in terms of just
people comparing him to Deshaun Jackson.
He has speed, right? Another guy that flies down the field. But also, they went out and they got Hollywood Brown who can do that as well. But at the same time, I thought that maybe they didn't need to trade up into the draft to get him. I thought I don't know. I thought maybe he might be there.
I got you.
When they were picking, so I just think that they didn't have to trade up with and they traded up. Well, Buffalo traded with them, which is kind of weird as well. But Buffalo has to do what's best for them, so they can't really worry about what Kansas City's doing or who they're taking. But I just thought that the Chiefs could have gotten that pick later on. Excuse me.
You thinking they should have just not traded and just?
Yeah, I think they could have. I think they could have picked him where he was. I don't know if any. Then again, I don't know what other teams were thinking at that point.
Yeah,
but like I'm saying, I just think that he probably could have fell to them. I mean, it's not that big of a head scratcher. It's just the fact that they traded up. This one to me, it's not the fact that it's number 4. This one to me is not the fact that they took an offensive lineman. It's the fact that I thought maybe they were going to trade back and get some more pieces to help out their quarterback, and that's the Chargers. I think Joe Allen's going to be really good.
Yeah,
I think but this is like we've been saying the last couple of weeks, I guess, or months, is that this is what Harbaugh does. He takes he builds with the offensive line. So it's not surprising that they took an offensive tackle. I just thought that there were going to be other offensive tackles later on in the draft that they probably could have traded. I don't know if anybody was reaching out to them or whatever the case may be, but I just thought there was opportunity there to either take Neighbors to help out your quarterback or trade back and maybe get an offensive tackle and possibly get another pick somewhere down the line and maybe get a wide receiver. Maybe if they traded back with Minnesota, they could have gotten Minnesota's 2 picks. They could have got an offensive tackle and then they could have got a wide receiver. I don't know, but I just thought they could have helped out their quarterback there and gotten a little bit more value, even though, like I said, I think Joe Alton's going to be really good, but I just thought they could have done better there possibly in terms of helping out their team. Because that team is going nowhere. And
nowhere.
Herbert is, I mean, he had some moments with talent. Now he's not going to have any talent for the most part. At least it's not as good as he's had in the last couple seasons. Number 3 is Ricky Pearsall, who went for the 49ers. I don't know who had him in the first round. I just thought there was plenty of other wide receivers I thought that they could have taken in that spot. And maybe they just thought he fits better with that team. I know there's the issue going on with Brandon Ayuk or whatever the case may be. He was going to get traded or whatever. He's looking for a long-term contract extension, blah, blah, blah. But I just thought that they could have taken another wide receiver. There was other wide receivers, Coleman, Micheal, Leggett. To me, there was better wide receivers there at that position.
Okay, the Chargers got him though. Ladd, hold on, I'm looking at it right now. Ladd McConkey. I think he was better.
Yeah, they had a couple options there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be better there.
I mean, I thought what the Colts did when the Colts got Micheal, I thought that was I didn't think he was going to drop that far. The kid
that was crazy.
So I mean, I just thought the 49ers kind of missed out here with a better wide receiver on the board that they could have taken. And obviously we know the to me the top two. Number two is Bo Nix. I just didn't. I mean, it's not nothing against none of these players. Nothing against Bo Nix. Obviously, I think he's going to be pretty good. I think he's going to be really good. I just thought that he was a second round quarterback at best. I know some people mock drafts had him in the first round. Had him kind of going, I think, around this position, 12, 13.
Yeah.
But I just didn't see it. I just thought that, teams were just starting to, I ain't going to say reach, but like, I don't know, man. I just thought that he could have gone in the second round. I know the Broncos needed the quarterback, but
they kind of had to, man.
I get it, but I just think
because I don't think he drops. Let me see. He might have got past the Raiders.
I think it's a second round grade on him. If the Raiders had picked him, I think it would have been the same thing for me. It would have been like a second round prospect quarterback going way too high just because you're in a desperate need for a quarterback. So I don't know.
Raiders had a sneaky good draft too.
Yeah, the Raiders did. Yeah,
I was just looking like, wait a minute.
No Knicks at all. This high. Yeah. If they had traded back and maybe got him like in the middle, maybe not middle, but like late 20s, maybe mid 20s. I'd have been like, cool. But I just think he went too high. And obviously number one is Michael Penix. I think he went way too high. Another guy who possibly, I know this guy definitely. I didn't see him in pretty much no first round mock drafts that I saw. I saw Bo Nix a little bit more.
I saw him in one.
I didn't see him in any. And I think that the Falcons, they reached on him because, I mean, they reached on him in general because I thought he was a second round pick at best. But at the same time, also, they have a quarterback who they paid all this money to be your number one guy. Now he's looking over his shoulder and he has to, like, as soon as he has like 2 bad games in a row, 3 bad, whatever it is, they're going to be like, okay, let's get Penix in here. Or it's just a bad situation for both quarterbacks because Penix, if Kirk Cousins plays well, Penix might not see the field at all. If Kirk Cousins plays bad, people are going to be calling for his head and trying to get Penix in there. And he might not be ready for it. Who knows? But I mean, he's 24. People are comparing this to the Packers with Jordan Love, and I can see it sort of, but
Jordan Love was a lot younger,
so he could afford to sit. Plus, he was taken later.
Yeah, because I was Jordan Love, 25 right now, 24,
24, 25, something like that, maybe.
Oh man, yep.
And Penix is already 24, so he's a little bit older. So he can't really afford to sit for too much longer, in my opinion. But I don't think he's going to be sitting until he's 26, 27. I mean, what was the point of that? And then you got obviously the situation with Cousins. Cousins was playing phenomenal before he got hurt, even though his team wasn't really winning. But his numbers were really good. Whereas Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't playing that great up until. So that's why they kind of traded up to get Jordan Love. Traded up into the first round, or they traded up to get Jordan Love. So, I mean, then who would have known that he would have had MVP seasons the next 2 seasons? But, it is what it is. So I'm hoping that something gets resolved here between this Penix and Kirk Cousins thing. I don't know. Hopefully, it has a happy ending for both. Then again, I don't care because I don't like the Falcons. So I'll take that back.
So the funny thing is, Rich Eisen has been going off on this for like 3 straight days. I don't get it. I said it live. I don't understand it. People made some good points, but my thing is this. This is what I don't understand. Is I understand what everybody keeps telling me. They're saying, oh, they don't want to be into the quarterback. They don't want to be in a quarterback without a quarterback, like the Commanders, the Panthers, that stretch where you don't have their franchise quarterback. But what happened to just trying to win? Like, it doesn't seem like you're trying to win. Like, for real, I would have got the best defensive player on the board. I would have, because I'm trying to win now. Not, like in Rappaport and Colin Cowherd, they're like, oh, I understand because they're going to move off Cousins in a year. And then they have Michael Penix. Then you got the quarterback contract where he's underneath the rookie contract and they get a 5-year extension. People are talking about that. I get that, and I get sitting behind a veteran. And Kirk Cousins could be mad, but we know Kirk Cousins is going to be a good veteran. He's a good veteran. He's a good dude. He has no choice to be but a good veteran. And I don't think I don't think he shows them a cold shoulder like Favre to Aaron. I don't think he's going to do that. I just don't think Kirk Cousins is that type of dude. I think he's going to feel some type of way, but he'll get over it. But it just sucks because if he plays bad, like you said, then you could have a quarterback controversy. Why? Why not just draft the best defensive player overall and try to win the division? In 2 years, you suck and draft a quarterback. I don't understand what's going on. Or Kirk Cousins could be playing good in his 3rd year. You already have him under contract. I don't get it. Or you know what I would have did? I would have traded with the Raiders. Here you go. Get Michael Penix before Denver. Give us something. I just don't understand the pick. It just doesn't make sense to me. It seems like you're not trying to win. It seems like you're not trying to take a risk. You're trying to be safe. Oh, let me just get this quarterback. No, that's not how it works. I'm trying to win today. I'm trying to win now. So let me get, because you don't know what's going to come down. You don't know who's going to perform good next year. You don't know. We got Sanders coming out. We got Carson back. We got Quinn Ewers. We don't know. So why get I don't understand it, Craig. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. And it's like, come on, man. I
can understand people's points when they said they're trying to look for the future and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I just thought they could have gotten better value, I guess, to try to win now versus trying to look for 2026, 2027, I guess. But I mean, it's just the crazy thing is that you don't know if he's going to see the field. That's the thing I'm trying to like. What makes you think just because he's drafted at 8 and normally people who drafted in the first round see the field after like at least in 1 year, but for the most part. But I mean, you got a quarterback that you're paying all this money to who might be balling out. I don't know, man. And he's already if he was like 20, 21, I could be like, all right, cool. I could understand it.
21
by the time
money.
3 years from now, he'll be 24. He'll be ready. Now he's already 24. He'll be 27.
Perfect.
And he might not even see the field until he's 27.
That's crazy. And
I think he turns 20. Does he turn 25?
Let me look it up.
Michael Penix. I think he's 23. He turns he will be 24 in
He'll be 24 next week.
Next week. On the 8th.
Yep. Happy birthday, Michael Penix. And Kirk Cousins' contract. He gets paid. He has a $90 million dead cap, so they're not going to do that. He got $65 million dead cap. So if they cut him, if Penix sits 2 years, he'll be 26, and in 2026 they let Kirk Cousins go. It's not going to cost him that much. It's going to cost him like $35 million. But if they cut, so here's the thing: what if Kirk Cousins he plays okay, they don't make it to the playoffs? Then you have a quarterback controversy in 2025 because if they don't make it to the playoffs, it's going to be a quarterback controversy because people are going to be like, well, you didn't make it to the playoffs with Ritter. Kirk Cousins didn't get to the playoffs. What's up with Michael Penix? And at that point in time, if they cut Cousins, Michael Penix wins the job. It'd be 65 million. It'd be 65 million dead cap. Pre-June 1st. Pre-June 1st. If they release him. If they trade him, 37 million. And that's after June 1st. So, I mean, let's see. But I'm with you, Craig. I didn't understand it. People still don't understand it. I wouldn't have drafted him a quarterback. I wouldn't have drafted up. Anyway, NBA playoffs are live and lit, and I can't wait. The Knicks are. Yeah, look at the game. The Knicks are up 3-0, 3-1. And yes, my Lakers lost, guys. It's okay because I picked Denver to go back to back. So I wasn't fooled. I knew we were gonna lose it. What did I say? 5 games? I think I might have said 5. But Lakers got out of there. Jamal Murray, two game winners. We're gonna get to the Lakers later. But Craig, number 1 with the NBA playoffs. Any surprises?
Yeah.
I was shocked too. Go ahead.
I'm not surprised anymore in sports, so I'm not gonna say it's surprises, but it's just the Suns getting swept.
Yeah. Because I picked them. I picked the Suns.
I actually picked this series when we did the playoff picture months ago, maybe. Like after the All-Star.
You had Minnesota?
I had Minnesota and Phoenix 3-6, and I had Minnesota losing to the Suns.
Me too.
It happened to come out the exact way, but the result was obviously was not the same. I don't know, man. Like this is the most. It's one of the most. It probably would have. I mean, it definitely would have been more disappointing had they not made the playoffs in general because they were so close to making the play-in.
Yeah.
But this is one of the most disappointing seasons I've ever seen. Like it's just very, very disappointing in terms of the expectations, the talent, what you traded for. They don't have a first round pick until like 2030 or something like that. Like you got to look so far out for them to have a first round pick. The team has all this money built up to all these 3 guys. So it's going to be hard for them to go out and get anybody. They're going to have to trade one of these guys or something like that. I don't know. Maybe Kevin Durant just volunteers himself, or maybe he just gets traded in general because he doesn't. You can't trade Bradley Beal. I forgot because he has a no trade clause.
He has a no trade clause.
Ridiculous himself because there's nobody in the NBA that should have a no trade clause. Or if it is, it should be somebody like I don't know, some young like Jason Tatum. I'm not saying I don't think LeBron needs a no trade.
That's what you say. You say Jason Tatum, Luka.
He needs a no trade clause, but now
in his prime, I got you. That's what you saying.
Luka, Tatum, somebody like that. Like those guys need a no trade clause. But Bradley Beal, who's been off with all these injuries and he's just been trash. No way. There's no way. And then you got Kevin Durant out there, and he did his thing, but he can only. It's only so much you can do when you don't have a point guard, a pure point guard, depth.
Never got rid of Chris Paul,
and a pure point guard, depth, and like just leadership. Those are like 3 things on that team. Now I don't know. You don't have to be a vocal leader like LeBron or maybe like Michael Jordan, whatever, or Kobe or whoever. You don't have to be like that. You can just lead by example, or maybe you have another veteran guy out there.
Chris Paul would have been a good leader for them, young.
They just need a leader, a point guard, because you can't have Booker. I guess you can. I mean, but he's not. He's not a point guard. I guess they thought since Kevin Durant got like 6-7 assists and Booker got 6-7 assists, okay, we can just plug and play. Boom. It didn't work like that. And then obviously the bench or the bench and the depth in general, they didn't have that. They didn't have that last year. They went out and they did a couple of things. They still don't have enough depth. They still don't have a bench. It just didn't work out for them. There's so many issues on that team that you can't run it back. You're going to have to figure something out. You're going to have to fire the coach, which is unfortunate. The coach is going to be the scapegoat.
Always.
That's
Same with the
unfortunate.
Lakers.
So he's probably gone. But then you're going to have to figure something else out because you really can't bring anybody into this team because the salary cap is so high. So you're going to have to do something with, most likely, you can't really, I guess you could do something with Booker, but Booker's been there forever. So that's kind of his team. Bradley Beal, like I said, has no trade clause. So the only person left is Kevin Durant. And at this point, if you're Kevin Durant, like everywhere you've been, it hasn't worked out except for Golden State. And Golden State, that wasn't your team.
There it is.
He leaves Golden State because of there's outside noise, maybe stuff going on with him and Draymond. I think there's something came out with the ownership or the leadership above them or something like that.
If he stayed at Golden State, though, they'd still be
going on there. Now, I didn't want him to go to Golden State because I thought it was a weak move. But at the same time, you're winning there, so just stay. I know you had the injury or whatever it is. They were going to win had he not got hurt. He got the injury. They lost to Toronto, and then
they would have won with him.
Leaves. He ups and goes to. Then again,
they might have won. They might have won 2 finals. They might have beat Phoenix to beat Milwaukee.
They wouldn't have won the next season though because he wasn't healthy. He didn't even play in Brooklyn. That
but they played. So he would have won. He would have won against Boston. He would have been on that team, and he would have. They might have won maybe one. Because how long has he been? When did he leave Golden State? 19.
I think so. Yeah, it was after 19 because that's when the Raptors won.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't do nothing in 20. They came back and won in 21.
Yeah.
And maybe they win another one. I don't know, but
maybe they win another one. Yeah.
He should not have. I'm not saying I was on the side that says, okay, you're already there. I would just stay there. Even though I didn't want there to begin with. But I was like, just stay there at this point. But he ends up leaving. It didn't work out in Brooklyn. Doesn't work out. Well, so far it hasn't worked out in Phoenix.
And he forced his way out.
I'm just not understanding what's going on with this team. Like Kevin Durant's not getting any younger. So they're going to have to figure that out. But Phoenix this team was very disappointing. I didn't have them going to the finals. But at least had them going to the next round, possibly losing to Denver. But at least I thought this team would be a lot. I didn't see a sweep. And they were getting blown out.
They were getting blown out.
Crazy thing is that a lot of people say, okay, well, they swept them in the regular season, which they did, but that doesn't always equate to the postseason. Clearly,
no.
I don't know what they were doing with Gobert, but they didn't do the same thing in the postseason with Gobert as they did in the regular season with Gobert. It just didn't work out. You got 2 7-footers
out there.
And Anthony Edwards, I give him credit. Like he looks like. I know I'm not going to say he's Jordan at all, but he looks like he's going to be the next superstar of the NBA at this point. And
okay,
he's playing for. I ain't gonna say unfortunately because maybe he can put Minnesota on the map because Minnesota's he doesn't have to be in LA or New York or nothing like that. But this could be the guy that's going to take over the NBA. Maybe he can kind of do what Steph did because Golden State's not really like a big basketball type popping area. Same thing with LeBron in Cleveland, but maybe he can turn Minnesota into that. So it's cool that he's in Minnesota. Actually,
okay.
Think about it. So I give Minnesota a lot of credit because they came out and they just dominated this team. And Phoenix, man, I mean, besides the Phoenix series, I don't really. I mean, everything else is. I mean, I know we're gonna get to the Lakers thing in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's just been injuries. It's been like the main, like, I guess, topic, or like the main denominator. Is that what I'm going? Yeah. Because a lot of stars that are injured or hurt and not playing. Kawhi's not playing tonight in the 2-2
That's crazy. I just saw that. I saw that in the game 5, which is
key guys that are not playing. But yeah, that Phoenix thing, man.
The Phoenix thing, hold on. This Earl said this. It's a very good point. Nick Wright did say this. No, who said this? Yeah, he did say this. He said, Craig, KD is not a force multiplier. He does not make his teammates better. I might have to agree with that because I mean, maybe not as much now, but I think he has made his teammates better. I mean, they got he's a Finals MVP, 2-time Finals MVP. Yeah, but after that, I don't know what because he keeps saying he's not a leader, but like
he's not a vocal leader. He leads by his play on the court. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be a vocal leader in order
that's
to be,
true. I can see that.
In order to have leadership on the team, or he could just defer it to somebody else that might want to be a vocal leader.
That hasn't been working.
What they need on that team. They need some type of leadership, though.
Yeah.
And
that joint has not been working.
Is not working.
Nah, it's not. He keeps losing, and yes, I was shocked. I didn't think the Suns were going to beat Denver, but I thought they would beat Minnesota. I did. I was, they're going to be able to spread the floor out. Let's see this big three. No, it didn't work. And I was very skeptical, and I should have not listened to my inner gut. And I should have not picked them because something it's number two. So two things are happening. Teams that are winning have been together for a while. They have. They've got OKC, Minnesota, Denver. They've been playing together for a while. And Phoenix is the owner just tried to put it all together and spit it out. Bill, I don't know what's going on with him. KD, I think KD's going to give you 27 to 30 points a night. I think KD just likes to play basketball. I don't know what Phoenix is going to do, though. I don't know, Craig. They are strapped. They owe a lot of money. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, another thing is defense. They don't have any
no defense. No defense, no depth.
That big three. I think the big three might be damn near over, or at least this iteration of the big three, because they don't have a person that can play defense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
At least for this group. Maybe another group they can. But
somebody said they should trade. Gilbert Arenas. They were like. Somebody said, who said trade Kevin Durant? Rashad said trade Kevin Durant. Brandon Jennings said he would trade Devin Booker. I was like, damn. No. Who said that? Somebody else said that too. Rick Bucher. He said he would trade Devin Booker, and I'm like, damn. He said he would basically blow it up.
I mean, you got
to blow it up.
You can't trade Bill, unfortunately. So I don't know how they would blow it up in terms of. I think you have to
trade Booker, maybe KD.
I don't know if
start over, young. Because
then again, I mean, unless you get like a good package back, maybe some young talent and some picks, because they don't have picks for a while.
No picks.
Yeah, I might be inclined to listen to it, but. Phoenix went from a team that was in the finals, competing possibly for a championship, to this.
This crazy.
In a few years.
It's crazy.
I think it was 2022, right?
It was 2022. And they said Devin Booker hasn't won a series without Chris Paul.
Well, I mean, this is the first time since 2005 that neither LeBron, KD, or Steph has reached the second round.
Yep.
And KD and Steph weren't even in the league. So, I mean, it just goes to show you how I guess how consistent those guys were.
Oh, yeah.
To the second round. But
those guys are playing the best. Those are two all-time greats.
This experiment hasn't worked. I don't view Kevin Durant as a top 10 player. I view him as a top 15, though. But
yeah, top 15. Yeah. But his legacy is. I'm not going to remember Kevin taking a hit. It has to me, but I'm not going to remember Kevin Durant for getting swept this year. I'm still going to remember the two championships. I'm still going to remember the two Finals MVPs. Yeah,
I'm going to remember the MVP where he said my mom's a real MVP and all that. I remember all that stuff. And this sweep probably is not going to be like, oh yeah, he got. No, I'm probably not going to remember that first thing anyway. But his legacy is just, I mean, he was compared to the best player, and he was being compared to LeBron for real. Like at this point, Kevin Durant just needs to say, you know what? I don't care what people. He has to get off Twitter. He should have been off Twitter. He has to just say, you know what? I don't care what these people are saying about me. I don't care what these people are saying about me. I just want to go out here and try to win a championship. Whether that's on a team teaming up with LeBron, or teaming up with Steph again, teaming up with LeBron and Steph, even though I don't know how it's going to work money-wise, teaming up with somebody and just going out and getting another championship. At this point, you just have to try to, at 35, 36, whatever he is, he has to go out and just try to win.
30, 36.
Yeah,
and he played the most. And he played the most games he's played, I think, this year in a minute.
Yeah, he just needs
75.
He only has 2, and he needs to get at least a third. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's gonna help his legacy.
He's gonna have to join. He's
not gonna go from top 15 to top 10 just because he wins another championship for me. But I think that's gonna help his legacy.
It'll help his legacy, but he's not gonna get in the top 10. Steph might, if Steph wins another one. Or Steph is in top 10 for some people right now, and I get it because
LeBron could get another championship. He don't have to be the number one guy.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like LeBron and Steph are in the LeBron's in probably everybody's top 10, and Steph is in a lot of people's top 10. But I don't think KD's ever going to get there.
I think Kevin Durant's in some people's top 10s. It's just
some people, yeah. Some people,
he's arguably the best overall scorer that game has ever seen.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's one of the best scorers I've ever seen.
He's a beast. He's one of the best.
But I mean,
and he's in that legendary club, 40, 50, 90.
He's a great player, great offensive player, one of the best ever. But I don't know why he just struggles in the postseason. I mean, he's at least outside of Golden State, definitely.
Yeah. Talking about the Lakers. They got a gentleman swept. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't fall for, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp. They were just saying that because they were fans. If you're a real fan, you knew. Listen, we struggle with the Nuggets, and I get it. And like I said, it's tough, man. Like time catches up to everybody, and Steph didn't even get past the play-in. LeBron gets a gentleman sweep, and KD gets swept. LeBron says he don't know if he's going to play in LA. I think he is. I think he's going to opt out, and they're going to re-sign him to a 3-year, $160 million deal. I don't think he leaves LA. But you know how LeBron is. He's going to want them to make a move to get a better team. I don't know, because we just can't beat Denver. We can't. Like they're the reigning champs. It's Jokic's time, man. It's Jokic and Jamal Murray's time, and Michael Porter Jr. They tough, and Aaron Gordon, and they just won a championship. They have the best player in the NBA. It's I don't know if there's anything the Lakers can do. Because if you get another star, you sacrifice depth. And then now you got 3 stars with no depth. So, I don't know how they're going to make that look or what they're going to do. Darvin Ham is probably fired. A lot of players were complaining about him. Sometimes the rotations and the timeout usage used to drive me crazy. I just wish they would have gotten Tyronn Lue instead of Frank Vogel, and we would be in a better shape. But they didn't want to listen. It's all good. Let's just say we're probably going to get a new coach next year. And this is just, this happens in sports, man. It happens, there's nothing. I'm a Lakers fan, Craig. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fan of the Lakers, but I understand basketball. And when we played the Nuggets, I was like, all right, we got a 20-point lead. We can't beat them. We were up again. We were always up going in the fourth quarter. Denver's just better, man. They're a better team. So I think Ham gets fired. I think Lakers make a big offseason move. They've been talking about that for a minute. And I think LeBron signs an extension. I think he opts out and signs a 3-year, $160 million extension. That's what I think's gonna happen. But it's okay. Listen, so let me ask you this. You kind of answered it earlier. I'm not gonna lie. Anthony Edwards. Remember, I've always liked him. He's knocking at the door, like, yo, I have arrived. Now, we're gonna go over the other series before we get into this, because we already know it's the changing of a guard. Let me ask you this, and then we're gonna touch on some of the other games. Changing of the guard, right? Changing of the guard. You think it's gonna be Anthony Edwards? Do you think it's gonna be anybody else? Because I think Jokic is like Tim Duncan, where he doesn't care. Who do you?
So, I guess
I agree with you, Edwards. I agree with you with that.
Real quick on the Lakers. I think that.
Oh yeah.
Real quick. I just want to touch on it. I think that they're. I do agree with everything you said about LeBron opting out and going the route of probably taking a 2 or 3 year deal. There's then they have 3 first-round picks. They have 2 opportunities to possibly draft Bronny if they wanted to.
Yep.
One's a little too high. I think it's like 17, and then they have like 55 or something like that. So I think they have opportunities there to appease LeBron in terms of that. I think they need to try to figure out some other. I don't think people are talking about Trae Young. I don't know if Trae Young is the answer for this team. Possibly, maybe.
He's talking about. He already talked. He's talking to the Hawks right now. Said he wants an extension.
Yeah, so I just didn't. I didn't
wants
really
to win. He wants to win in Atlanta. That's what he said.
I didn't think in general he was the guy there. I think they need to get rid of D'Lo. I just thought he checked out in game. I think it was game 3. He was on his cell phone. They need to get rid of him. He's just not reliable as well. He's missed. You can't rely on him. I think Anthony Davis had a great year this year. He was relatively healthy.
It was good. No complaints.
He was like the number 1 option on that team for the most part. So you just get like a game where he just goes for 30, and the next game he goes for like 12. You're gonna get some of those sometimes. It's not consistent all the time, but for the most part, he was great this year. And then I just think they need to get some more shooting. They need to get some more shooting.
They might have to get Rui out of there.
And they gotta get rid of. I mean, they don't have to get rid of, but I think they're gonna get rid of Darvin Ham. I think he's gonna be the scapegoat, I guess. I think he's a pretty good coach. I think he maybe just needs to coach a team that's maybe a younger team that's not challenging.
That's what I think.
Yeah, kind of build that team up to get them to a championship or get them to the playoffs or something like that. But and maybe this team goes for a veteran coach or something like that. I don't know who else is going to be out there, but I think the Lakers have. I mean, they were in this series. I mean, they led like 164 minutes out of over the 5 games. So they very rarely trailed. They were in control for the most part. The third quarter is what really hindered them. They got outscored by like 38 points in the third quarter over the 5 games. So they didn't get that. I mean, they lost two games on a buzzer. Well, 2 games in the last 3 seconds shot. 1 game at a buzzer, 1 game with 3 seconds left.
3 seconds left.
And they screwed themselves because they didn't have a timeout because Darvin Ham thought the challenge they would get a timeout. They did whatever. So they screwed themselves there because they couldn't advance the ball. But I mean, they were right there for the most part in a lot of these games, just like last year. They were right there in a lot of those games last year. So I don't know if the Lakers just were too far off in terms of beating the Nuggets. But I mean, they can't beat them. It's just, I mean, clearly they lost 8 out of the last 9 in terms of in the playoffs. But I just think they need to go out and they need to get some extra pieces and get rid of some of these pieces that's on this team.
Well, probably get Buddy Hield. He should be available.
In terms of the face of the team, face of the NBA. I guess I said Anthony Edwards. Definitely.
Yeah, I like that.
I think he wants to be the face.
Yes, he wants it.
Him being in Minnesota, like I said earlier, it's not a big time market, but I think he can make a market out of that.
Maybe do what Giannis did. Giannis did to
like Giannis, like Steph did, like LeBron did with Cleveland.
Yep.
It doesn't always have to be LA, New York, Chicago, Houston, things like Dallas. It doesn't always have to be like that. So I think this is definitely an opportunity to build around Minnesota and build around Anthony Edwards. And also the team is good. They just swept the Suns.
They're good.
So they have an opportunity here on. It's going to be, these games are going to be on TNT or ABC. They're going to be playing Denver. So I think
we'll get to that later. Yeah, go ahead. Say it. SGA.
He's not from the United States, but
no, it doesn't matter. Like we know Anthony Edwards, but any others you think?
Oh yeah, SGA definitely.
He wants it too. SGA wants it.
Again, another guy that's in a small market that you could. I mean, KD was there before, and so was Russell Westbrook. So they have an opportunity to go back to where you had a couple superstars before, who won MVPs there, and now you have another guy who just like the Timberwolves, they swept their opponent. So they have an opportunity there, and I think SGA, he's definitely really good. Luka's really good, obviously, playing for Dallas. I don't know. I'm not saying surprised, but I am, I guess, that he hasn't won an MVP yet, as good as he's been over his whole career. So I mean, he's kind of been battling with Giannis and the
Jokic,
Embiid when he's healthy. So he's been having to deal with that, but like he's been playing phenomenal.
He's been playing balling this year. He's on some ballots. He's going to be on some ballots. He's going to get some votes. He's going to get some votes.
I definitely think Wemby. Once Wemby, I definitely agree with that. I think he wants to be the face of the NBA as well. The team just obviously they just need to.
He wants it. You can tell he wants.
They need to win more. Need to get to the playoffs. Something Pop hasn't done with the Spurs in years. It seems like so they need to get back to the playoffs. I think San Antonio could be a destination market.
They're saying Trae Young.
With some of these veterans, especially veterans that want to play with a guy like Wemby, because it's going to make their life, a guard's life anyway, especially going to make their life a lot easier having to play with Wemby. I mean,
and his defense.
Double-double machine.
His defense too. He can come out.
Yeah, he's a double machine. He's going to be future all defensive first team, all defensive player of the year. So,
I heard he got votes this year.
Those are my top four. If I had to pick somebody else, I'd probably say Tatum, just because Jason
Tatum wants it too. He wants it.
I just think he has to win a championship, especially with this team. Now, this team just got bad news about. I don't know what the bad news is.
I think Porzingis. I think he's out at least 3 games. I think so.
I think Giannis wants it too, but I think Giannis he's getting a little bit older, so and he definitely deserves to be in consideration for if he wants to be the face of the NBA just because of the championships. The championship and the MVPs, but he just has to stay healthy, especially the last couple of years he hasn't been healthy for the playoffs. But I think my lead vote will probably go to Anthony Edwards at this point. He'd probably be my number 1, followed by Wemby would be my number 2. Clubs.
Yeah, I like it. So let me ask you this. These is going to be probably very quick, and then we're going to wrap up with the Denver Minnesota series. I think we all picked this one, but Bucks Pacers. We got the Pacers winning, right?
I did.
I think we all picked the Pacers.
I picked the Pacers even.
We all picked them. Yeah. Giannis hurt. And I think, is Dame hurt too?
Yeah, he's hurt. He's not
playing. And Porzingis is out a couple games, but see, I mean, Boston might be able to rest him. They might be able to rest him. But I got Pacers. That's not a surprise. Cavs and Magic, who are playing right now, up 2-2. I might go 7 games, man. I might go 7.
The
It's
Pacers and the Bucks. I think that the Bucks. It's just been an unfortunate series for them because they had so many injuries. Dame hurt. Giannis obviously hurt. They're missing a couple other guys I think that are hurt. Portis got hurt. Middleton's been playing hurt. He's been actually trying to keep the team in everything. And it's just the Pacers just have everybody pretty much healthy for the most part at this point. So, yeah. I mean, that's just an unfortunate circumstance that they had to come into this situation hobbled. And that's just been a lot of the teams in the playoffs in general. Kawhi, Embiid, Bogdanovich just got hurt. Porzingis.
Yeah, I just saw that.
I mean, it's just so many like big time players. Obviously, Randall's not playing. Zion didn't play the whole first round. They got swept.
Yep, Zion didn't.
It's just unfortunate because I want to see everybody healthy when it comes to the playoffs. Which I mean, that's a real hard ask. But I mean, you as a fan of any sport, I think you would want to have everybody. Your wish would be to have everybody healthy. That way, it's kind of even, or it's even as it can be. So, but yeah, the Magic and the Cavs. This has been no team has lost on their home court yet. So,
I'm gonna go 7, man.
I want to see. I picked the Magic in this one before the series starts.
Yeah, so me too.
I want to see this young team overcome this veteran team, I guess. Because last year they weren't nowhere near the playoffs, and now this year they moved up to the 5th seed. So a pretty big jump for them. So I like what I saw out of the Magic at home. I want to see if they can translate that to the road. So I don't know. I think they're playing tonight, right?
Yeah, they're playing right now. They're down. They're down.
I know
they're down, but the Knicks are
down by 2 in the third.
Knicks are down by 2, so that game's a lot closer. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a must win. Obviously.
Yeah, of course. Knicks and Sixers. You think? I mean, I think that one might be.
I think if the Sixers can get this one, it's going to be hard because they got 2 games. They would have to win 2 games in New York, including Game 7, obviously, which is right up the street. It's not like they got to go cross country for this one. But
that's true. That's true.
Their fans can travel. It's just I don't know if they will travel like New York fans traveled for Game 4. I mean, Game 3. No, it was Game 4. Game 4 the other night in Philly. That was embarrassing for a playoff game. A regular season game,
crazy.
For a playoff game, you want to have like 90%, 80%, 90% Philly fans in there. As close to 100% as you can get, man. That was embarrassing. That's not why they lost. I mean, they can't score in the 4th. They turn the ball over too much, and
Embiid is hurt, man.
Embiid has just been.
I give it to him though. I give it to him.
Struggling in the 4th.
He's struggling. I think he's tired. But
yeah, he's probably still banged up.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing through it. I give it to him.
You gotta give him credit for that. But man, like they need somebody else. If he's not being able to score, where is Tobias Harris? He's been he hasn't been anywhere. Like he's kind of vanished. I mean, and then you got obviously OG whatever his name is. He's been playing a lot of really good defense on Embiid, and Brunson's been looking like.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
he hasn't shot the ball well for the most part, but
when he dropped that 47,
when they need him most,
when Embiid elbowed him and chipped him, and he dropped 40. I said, goodness, he went on it. Jalen Brunson, respect, yo.
They need him the most, man. He steps up. Him and Murray. Murray was hurt, questionable for game 5. He stepped in.
Josh Hart's playing good too, man. Shout out Josh Hart.
Josh Hart is playing well.
He's playing well, man. He's playing well. And I'm not gonna lie, the Knicks. I think, oh man, if they could get another superstar, they'd be tough. You know who would fit with them? KD. KD would fit perfectly with them.
If they get Kevin Durant, Brunson, Hart, and
they have all of them. And OG.
They got Randall back. Yeah,
I would trade Randall.
Oh, that's right. They got to trade.
I would trade Randall.
You you're not getting
good.
You're not getting.
But I don't know. I'm just saying. Like Knicks. This is if there's ever a time, Knicks, Dolan, go get a star because you got a good young team. Jalen Brunson, that's his team. He's the leader. Go get somebody that fits in with them, man. Go get somebody. Cause y'all are doing. They're doing good, man. Shout out to the Knicks. All right, Dallas. This is a tricky one. Kawhi Leonard's not playing tonight. He's out.
No, they play tomorrow.
They play tomorrow. He's out. Game 5.
Yeah.
Who do you have winning that series?
Well, he hasn't played.
I think the Mavs. I don't think he's played.
He hasn't played in the last game. They were able to. They were up by like 30. I think they were up by 30, and they
were up by 30.
They came back and took the lead at one point. So that was kind of unfortunate.
Who'd you originally pick?
Able to win the game. I think I picked the Clippers. I said whoever won the series, just like Philly and New York, I said we'll go to the conference finals. I did say that. So I'm still sticking with that. Even though Oklahoma City looks really good. I'm still picking the Clippers. I'm still picking the Clippers.
It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna go 7.
It's gonna be a really good game. I think that the Clippers. Fortunately for the Clippers, they got home court. So, but this is whoever wins this game is probably gonna win this series at this point. Because if you go back to Dallas down 3-2, it's gonna be hard to win. At least
gonna be hard.
Dallas, if they're down 3-2, they can try to tie at least at home, and then game 7, where James Harden just fade away. As great as playing this whole series, he's probably, if they go to a game 7,
it's a wrap.
I wouldn't be surprised if James Harden goes 4 for 7 and 1 for 10 from 3 or something.
It's a wrap. Yeah,
he doesn't seem to figure it out in clutch games. So.
Or I wonder if the New York Knicks have money. What if they try to get Paul George? I don't know their cap space though, because Paul George is gonna be out of there, man. He's gonna be out of there. Anytime you see a player start saying that they not signing and leaving, Paul George has been perfect on the Knicks. Perfect.
I mean, a lot of people did good on the Knicks with this.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't know. I don't know their cap space. I don't know. I'm looking it up now. Oh, they're in the negative. Oh, they over the league. Yeah, they're gonna have to trade. They're gonna have to trade Julius Randle because he makes $28 million. But who's gonna take that salary? Oh, it's only a 1 year though. No. It's 2 years because we're going 23, 24. I don't know who's going to take that salary. I don't know who's going to take it. But the Knicks, shout out to the Knicks, man. All right. Last question, Craig. Let me ask you this. Who wins between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves? And yes, guys, we're going to answer this again because we probably have no one here. But who you think wins that series?
Oh, the Nuggets.
Okay. I don't think it's go back to back. Do you think it's gonna go 7 games?
No. I think they'll give them more of a run than I ain't gonna say they give them a run because the Lakers gave them a run, but I think they're gonna get probably more games than the Lakers did, but
maybe 6.
Maybe 6. I think there's a lot of size on that team, obviously, with
a lot of size
and Rudy Gobert
and Nas Reed,
a young superstar like Edwards. So he's gonna be hard.
Daniels. It's gonna be some good. It's gonna be some good. Like I agree with you, but if they have it's gonna be a great matchup because Minnesota got a lot of size. They got a lot of size.
Murray gets time to rest right now because they don't play until Saturday. So there's plenty of time for him to get healthier, especially after playing last night.
Yeah, so he balled out last night.
he should be able to be close to 100%.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Yeah, definitely.
And then, Minnesota's going to have.
It's going to be, you know what it's going to be? It's not going to be Joker or Murray. It's not going to be Cat or Ant. The difference is going to be Michael Porter Jr. Because he's been balling. He's been balling.
Yeah, I guess I just think that Minnesota. I think Denver has. I don't even know if this team is better than last year's team. Maybe they are. I don't know, but I just think Denver has too much experience, and that's why I thought the Phoenix Suns were going to win. I thought the experience would rain out. I think both teams are definitely talented, but I think this team obviously is on a mission. They went last year. They won last year. Have an opportunity to go back to back. I do like Anthony Edwards. What's his name? Jaden McDaniels. Still not a fan of Gobert. But Naz Reid is playing well. He could be sixth man of the year. Candidate for sixth man of the year. So I like the matchup of Anthony Edwards and possibly. I mean, I don't think they're going to guard each other because Murray plays point. But
yeah, they're not going to guard each other.
Anthony guards Murray. That'd be nice. And I don't.
He might. Anthony be trying. He wants those defensive assignments now.
Yeah, that's another thing. Anthony Edwards is really good on defense. He's a really good defensive player.
And you know what that leads to?
He's definitely up and coming defensive player.
Really you know what that leads to, Young? That leads to playing on both sides of the ball. That's what great players do.
I think it's gonna be this should be a really good series to watch. I think a couple years ago, these are two teams. This is another team, like I said about Minnesota and Cleveland and all these. Denver is a city where it's not like a big time popular NBA following. But the last couple of years, especially last year, this is what Minnesota can become. Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity there, man, and I think the NBA has to capitalize on it with some of these stars, and not try to force them or market them to be in these big time cities. I think you need some of these other cities that are not well known cities to be.
And that's the good thing about the NFL. You know what I'm saying? The NFL doesn't. What I like is like Kansas City's not a big market team and they're dominating. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore, it's Cincinnati. I think the NFL is good for that. Like it's
NFL really markets the teams for the most part.
Markets the teams, which is good.
Markets the
individual, which if you market the teams,
which isn't bad. I mean,
it's not bad. It's not
the model for the NBA has worked. At least it's worked for. Since like the 80s, basically.
Since the 80s.
Magic
and Bird,
and then Jordan.
And Jordan blew it up.
Iverson.
Kobe Iverson. LeBron, Steph. It just,
So it's been like that. So maybe it'll still follow suit. And plus they got a TV deal coming up and all this other stuff. So
yeah, they got a TV deal coming up.
And a new CBA coming up soon.
Yeah, a new CBA.
So I want to see what they decide to do or how they decide to push this.
Because I'm hearing some rumblings about TNT might not renew, and we gotta see. But all right, guys, we are out of here. We're gonna see y'all next time. I know, man. I know. Next week we're gonna go over most draft grades, and then we're gonna have some more playoff matchups we're gonna talk about. Man, it's more deep. All right, guys, we're going to see you. Fourth quarter is out. We are out. Peace.